Hey everybody, thank you for joining me today in this video. My name is Sarah Lean and I want to talk to you about why I think Azure Bicep has been so popular since its release. Now, one of the reasons I think it's been so popular is because it supports brand new Azure features straight out of the box. Now, this is not to malign other third-party infrastructure as code tools, but because Azure Bicep is a Microsoft product and the ecosystem has really thought about what they're doing with Azure Bicep, any brand new products or features within a product will be supported within Azure Bicep. So you can continue on that process of your infrastructure as code and deploying things through Azure Bicep when new things come out. So instead of having the majority of your infrastructure deployed by Azure Bicep and then a few things having to be manual when they're brand new, you can use Azure Bicep with those new features and products straight away. Now, the second reason that I think Azure Bicep has become so popular is because it's simplicity. When you look at, say, the Azure ARM templates, they can be quite complex. They can be thousands of lines of code. And when you start to add in linked templates and nested templates, troubleshooting just becomes quite arduous. And with the Azure Bicep templates, you are reducing down the amount of code that you maybe need to write or actually work through in order to troubleshoot something. You know, I've seen examples where an Azure ARM template is 50 odd lines of code and the Azure Bicep version is only 15 lines. So that makes it easier for you to actually write and, as I say, to troubleshoot as well if something goes wrong with that whole process. So I think the simplicity is one of the main factors that Azure Bicep has become so popular. Now, although Azure Bicep is a Microsoft product, it is open source. So there's a complete transparency about how you can actually contribute to it and how it's actually being designed and where its roadmap is going as well. You can go onto GitHub and see the source code of Azure Bicep and contribute to it to yourself. I know a lot of community members who have actually done that, have used their skills to actually drive the innovation within Azure Bicep and try and help it become the best product that it can be. And I think that's one of the key reasons as well that it's become so popular, because it can be driven, the innovation, the roadmap can be driven by the community, contributing to the code and also contributing to the whole conversation about what direction that it takes itself in the future. Now, Azure Bicep is a free product. You don't have to pay anything to use it. You don't even have to have an Azure subscription and be paying for any Azure services to be able to use Azure Bicep. And with that, you might be forgiven for thinking that it's not supported by Microsoft. So if you have an issue, you're on your own and you have to sit there and troubleshoot it yourself. However, that's not the case. The Microsoft support team actually will answer your queries about Azure Bicep. So if you have an issue, you can log a support ticket and the Microsoft support team are there for you to help troubleshoot it as well. Now, of course, you can use the community as well to help with the support, or you could even use the GitHub repository, like I said, because it's open source. There's a lot of conversation and a lot of interaction, both from the product team themselves and the wider community who are investing in putting Azure Bicep on that map and making it the first-class infrastructure as code tool. So one of the last reasons that I think Azure Bicep has become so popular is because of its modularity. You can write small snippets to deploy an Azure resource or configure an Azure resource, and then you can easily reuse that again for another project. Before, when you were using maybe ARM templates, it was quite complex to take a snippet of that template and put it somewhere else because of the sheer complexity of ARM templates. However, Azure Bicep has been designed with that modularity in place. So you can call on those different snippets that you have, or maybe some of your colleagues have written, and you can pull them in to your main Azure Bicep deployment template and reuse them. You don't have to start from scratch, and you can just build on those tiny bits of snippets that you have all over your environment and pull them into projects when you need them. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I hope this has given you some insight into why Azure Bicep is so popular, and also if you aren't using it, why you should be considering using it in your environment. Please do hit that like button if you have enjoyed this video, and if you want to see more content from myself, please smash that subscribe button and I'll catch you in another video.